The second straight game between Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. They're hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you came to this highlight to see anything outside of Damian Lillard shooting three-pointers, you're probably in the wrong place. This highlight is all about the greatness that is Damian Lillard. He put on a show for that home Portland crowd. Dame knocking down many three-pointers. You'll see more in a second. D'Angelo Russell doing all he can to keep Minnesota in this one. How about D'Lo cutting the T-Wolves deficit down to 6? But at the end of the day, Minnesota had to deal with that man. And in the first half, there was no stopping that man. 8 3-pointers in half number 1 for Damian Lillard. This one may be the most cold-blooded of them all. Dame time. The Blazers are up a bunch. And the reason they're up a bunch is because their point guard was going off. In the third quarter, D'Lo, this time dishing up top to Rudy Gobert, the big fella, had himself a pretty good game, 16 points, 20 rebounds, but it wasn't his night. How about Jeremy Grant for Portland, 2 of his 24 points, but it wasn't his night. This night belonged to Dame Dollar. That three-pointer puts the Blazers up by 16, and this time around, Dame's just going to walk into a three-pointer. Okay, you start to push up on him. Then Lillard's got to show you that he can do it at the rim as well. Lillard is going to tie his career high with 11 three-pointers made in just 29 minutes of action for Portland. Shane Sharp continues to show you why he will be a really good player in this league one day. Beautiful reverse at the rim. The Blazers beat up on the T-Wolves 133-112. I got a good basketball debate for you as Damian Lillard knocks down 11 three-pointers. Pretty much the only guys that have been able to do that this decade have been Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Damian Lillard. So you got 2 Warriors and a Trailblazer. I got a question for you. With Klay's injuries over the last few years, Damian Lillard, I know he's had injuries over the last year or so, but overall he's a pretty healthy guy. If Steph Curry is clear as day, the number 1 shooter of this generation, I'm talking about all things considered, off the dribble, spot up, I think it's no question Steph Curry is probably the greatest shooter of all time, right? If he's number 1 clearly of this generation, is Damian Lillard clearly now number 2? Or do you still give that title to a guy like Klay? Or do you look at some of these other guys that can shoot the heck out of a basketball as competing for that second spot? That's my question. I believe Damian Lillard is clear as day the second best three-point shooter of this generation. And when I mean this generation, I mean like the last 10 years. Anybody that can shoot off the dribble the way Dame can, just coming off of screens and popping that thing the way he can, I think post Ray Allen, it's obviously been Steph, but from there, I would say Dame is number 2. Now, Klay Thompson is a phenomenal shooter that has had some incredible games, but we've also seen the bad of Klay as well. So I got to put Dame ahead of Klay because Dame ain't got no Steph to pass him the rock and get him open looks. And Dame don't play with a Steph Curry that attracts so much of the defense and allots for open looks. So I'm going to give Dame more credit because he's doing a lot of this work off the dribble like Steph. So I got to give him some credit over Klay. And that's where I land with Steph being far and away number 1. But Dame over the last 8 to 10 being far and above away now the number 2 best shooter of this era. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions.